Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. I'm really excited to be back today on YouTube. I've not produced any videos for almost 4.5 months, close to 5 months now. And the reason behind that is I actually sustained an injury. I got into an accident when I was off-roading out in Mount Disappointment in Victoria. And as a result of that, I had an unstable fracture on my C6 and C7 vertebra. And that resulted in me undergoing emergency surgery. It's a spinal fusion surgery that I underwent, where they fused my C6 and C7 spine together. And it also resulted in 4 months of being out of action, 4 months of treatment, physio, recovery, and so on. But I'm really fortunate and really happy to be able to get back and have all functioning limbs, and also have not sustained any long-term injury. So that's really a blessing in disguise. Really fortunate. So I want to thank you all for being patient, and I also want to thank you for actually joining me today on this video. So what are we going to talk about today? So recently Chigee Global sent me the AIO-5 for BMW. Now I received this product early this week and I've had a bit of a play with it, and I must say I am really impressed with this product. I have had the BMW connected ride Cradel on my GS1250 Adventure, and I can see how this thing will be a much better fit for what I like to do, and I'm sure it will also be the same for a lot of you out there. So if you're interested to find out more about these products, stay tuned. Alright, so let's talk about the product itself. So when I received the product, they sent me the actual device and also a screen protector for the device, which is really a nice touch to it. Now the box by itself is premium quality. You can see the packaging really reminds me of, you know, the likes of Samsung with their phones, or even Apple with their packaging. So really good quality box, really fine packaging. It just adds that extra layer of touch, and also it's a statement of how premium this product is. Now in the box you actually get the device, and the device itself, when you remove it, it's of really good quality. Now mind you, I've already unboxed this, so I'm just showing you how this was when I got it. So it comes with this whole protector on the screen. I have attached the screen protector on it already. It's got 4 buttons on the top here. So the first button here is a home button, and then we've got a switch key button, we've got a lock key button, and we've got a power button. So these ones you can use to actually operate the navigation system if you don't want to use the screen as well. Now the product itself, you can see, is really premium quality product. You know, it's a statement. It almost feels like the BMW Nav 6 in terms of the quality and the build, so really happy with that. Now besides that, you also get in the box, you'll also get some instructions. There you got the instructions on how you connect the device, and you get some goodies as well. So it comes with a keychain, comes with a few stickers, and it comes with a screwdriver. Now this screwdriver here is for you to undo these screws here. So when you undo these ones at the bottom, I'm just going to undo one side of it, but essentially what that does is it allows you to access the SD card slot and the USB-C slot. So when you receive the product, you have to plug it into your motorbike to set it up. You can actually just plug it to a USB-C power supply. That can be a charger, anything at all that has a USB port, even your computer. That should power up the device, and that should then allow you to actually get the updates done and sort of register and activate the device. So there you go. Alright, so now that we have done the unboxing video, well, at least bits of it, let's talk about the actual product by itself. Now the product here is of really premium quality. Now I want to touch base with you on some of the technical specifications that this has to offer. Now the screen by itself, it's a scratch resistant screen. Obviously they also produce a screen protector which you can purchase, and I've got the screen protector applied on there, and that just adds an additional layer of protection you know, just in case a rocks hit there, or if you've got sandy gloves or anything like that, you don't want it to scratch the actual screen. But just as a peace of mind, that screen itself is a scratch resistant screen by itself. Now the display, the resolution of the display, it's got a 720p resolution on the display by itself, which is pretty high for a device this size. The size of the device, this is a 5-inch display, which to me is the right size that you need for a bike like this. Anything bigger than this, I think, would actually obstruct the view a bit too much, and it also will probably obstruct the view of the actual digital display on the beamer. So you don't want anything bigger than that. So I think this is really a good size by itself. Now the case for this product here, the case itself is actually developed by LG. I'm sure you all know a lot about LG. They make really good TVs and so on. So they actually developed the whole case. So it is twist resistant, it is IP68 rated, it is heat resistant as well, weather resistant and so on. And this part here where it connects directly to your navigation cradle on your BMW, that just feels so premium and of really good quality of how they've actually designed the whole thing. Now the processor in this device, it uses a Cortex A53 processor. Now that's a really when you compare to a lot of the competitors in the market, this one by far is the highest in specs, so really adds an extra layer to how premium this actual product is. Besides that, it's got a 1200 nits screen. Now what does that mean? That means the brightness of the screen is extremely bright. You can adjust it. It's got an auto adjust function, or if you want, you can even adjust it to be higher, which is really great, especially when you are riding in really bright areas, really when the sun is shining right on top of you, and sometimes you can't see the screen. So with this, you will not have that problem because the screen is so bright by itself. It doesn't have issues with overheating. It doesn't have issues with operating in really low temperatures, because the operating temperature on this device is ranging from 60 degrees to minus 20 degrees Celsius, which is really great. Now, another thing to add on the screen of this product, this comes with a 60 frames per second screen, which means that it's going to give you a buttery smooth experience on the screen. There's no flickering, and it'll be buttery smooth when you try to use it as well. Besides that, it's also got on-the-air updates, which means that you do not have to manually update this thing. As long as the bike is parked, docked in your home or wherever there's a Wi-Fi access, you connect the thing to a Wi-Fi, and if there's an update, it will automatically check for an update and it will update the device. Now, Chigee is working meticulously to enhance the device even further. There has been some bugs in the past. They have rectified a lot of those bugs now. From what I can see, when I've been using this device, I have not faced any bugs and so on. But nevertheless, on the forums, there have been some complaints, and Chigee has ensured that they are trying to rectify a lot of these problems and also bringing up new enhancements to the device. So I'm sure that within the next couple of weeks to a couple of months, the device that we know as is will actually be more enhanced to what the current state is. So we have to stay tuned to that, and I'm really excited with the things Chigee has got planned for this device. Now, Chigee has got a few other devices in the market. Now, remembering this is the AIO-5 Play for BMW, which means that it's got a specific cradle that mounts specifically onto your BMW navigation preparation. If your motorcycle does not have the BMW navigation preparation, then this is not the model for you. Then you will have to look at the other options like the AIO-5 Play, or you can look at the AIO-5 LITE, and there are a few others on the website as well, which is a more universal sort of fitment. And those ones come with some added extras like it's got independent tire pressure monitoring system, it's got lane departure warnings, it's got cameras attached to it as well. And in terms of the price, you'll have to check on the websites because there are differences in the pricing, but this one is mainly just for using on the BMW navigation system. It does not come with lane departure warning, it does not come with cameras and so on. So this is just a simple basic unit that goes onto your BMW navigation system. Now remembering also that this product actually reads off the ECU of the motorcycle. So all the data that is stored on the motorcycle actually is transferable to this device, and I will run through them when I plug it on. So now let's get on to mounting this device onto the motorcycle. Let's do it. Alright, let's get cracking on installing the Chigee system on the motorcycle. So what I've got at the moment here is the BMW connected ride cradle, which essentially is for your mobile phone and to use the BMW connected app. So I'll talk a little bit about that later on and how the Chigee device actually differs from this product. But let's now remove this cradle from the motorcycle. So in order to do that, you just plug in, you just put in your key, and once the key is in, there is a lever at the back. You want to pull it out, and there's another lever here on the right hand side. Press it in, and that removes the actual native connected ride cradle from your motorcycle, and that's that. So then the next step is for you to actually bring in your Chigee device. Now again, in terms of when you compare the size of the two, you can see they are, the cradle itself is slightly bigger than the actual Chigee device, but remembering the cradle is designed to actually hold phones of various sizes, so you really can't compare them like for like, but essentially it all depends on how big your phone is, and some phones are smaller and some phones are bigger. Now again, with this device, as I said, it's designed specifically for the cradle, and you can see there are 2 points here which sort of aligns with those 2 hooks at the top, and then there's another flat point here which goes down, and this sensors here or chip here is meant to align with the pins that comes on the cradle, and that is how the data transfer actually works between the 2 devices. Now to put them on, it's really easy. I'll show you how to do it. Make sure you've got the right side on. So essentially the one with the flat goes down here. So all you do, you pull, make sure this lever on the left hand side is fully extended outwards. You put this in, you clip it in, and once it's clipped in, you push that in back, and that's locked. That's locked, and then once you turn the key and you remove the key, this is not going to go anywhere. It is as steady as anything. To remove it, again, very simple. Put your key back in, put a turn the key, pull out the lever on the left, click in the lever on the right, and bang, it's out. So very simple. Again, putting it back in, make sure it clips, push the lever all the way back in, testing that it's all in, and now when you press this clip here, it does not release when this lever is in. So make sure you put this lever in and then turn to lock, and there you go, it's in. So that's the first part done, the easy part. All right, now let's talk about some of the functionalities that we get on the device on the motorcycle. Now when you get this device, it'll be factory, which means that it will probably require an update. It'll require you to register the device, and I've actually done all of that stuff already, and that's actually pretty simple. So all you need to do is, when you turn on the device for the first time, and now again going back to setting up the device, you do not need to plug it into your motorcycle to do it. You can also do it at home on your dining table, as long as you have a USB-C cable that plugs into the bottom of this device to power it up, and then you can do all the right device registration and updates and so on that you require. But now I want to show you, mine is all set up, so I just want to show you how it actually works. So to power on, turn that on, the motorcycle powers on, the Chigee device powers on now, and there you go, it's connected. Simple as that. And it's saying that my battery is low, and that's because I haven't used the bike for a little while, and I probably need to turn on the engine in order to get this to work properly, but let's not do that yet. Now Right, so as you can see on the display here, you can see where it says TFT and then it says navigation. That means that the motorcycle has registered the device on. So sometimes you will realize that when you put it on, this does not come up, and the reason behind that is you haven't actually plugged in the device properly, so which means that the pins on the device are not properly touching the actual chip on the actual device here. So you just need to make sure you realign it and put it back in properly. So really simple as that. Now as you can see, the actual Chigee device has powered on. There's no flickering at the moment. It is actually connected to my phone via the Android Auto connection. Now in order to use the device, you can use it as a touch screen. Now this is in the Android Auto, but I want to take you back to the actual native screen. So let's go back there. So this is how the screen will look. This is the main screen of the actual Chigee device. Now here you've got your speed sensor, which tells you what speed you're going. That's a compass there. You've got your time, which reads off your phone directly. It's got the time for the sunset today, which also reads off your phone. It's got GPS, but that GPS is not really for navigation. It is more for positioning, not using for navigation. Remember, this is not a native navigation device like a Garmin. The Chigee AIO-5 reads off your phone in order to navigate, similar like how you would find in most modern cars with Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. Now it's also got a tire pressure monitor there. Now when I put my finger on and click on there, it actually brings this screen up. Now you can see here what it's saying there. It is actually reading the tire pressure monitor from the navigation system. So here I've got my values for the current tire pressure. The units are in PSI, and you can see my front is 17.4 and the back is 40.6. I'm not entirely sure if that's accurate at the moment. You need to sort of ride the bike in order to get it to update. All right, and then you can change the units if you like to bars, PSI, and you can change the temperature to Fahrenheit or Celsius. All right, then you've got this screen here. Now this one here essentially reads data of your ECU from your motorcycle. So what you've got here is your RPMs. You get your RPMs there, your speed will display here, that's your gear position. When the bike is running, the tire pressure will come up here, it'll read directly from the bike. You've got your outside ambient temperature, your battery voltage, you've got your lean angle at the moment, 1 degrees. Now it's back to 0, so it's pretty accurate. You've got your engine temperature and you've got the range with my current fuel on there. Now if you actually click this, it actually gives you a different view but with the same information on there. So again, you got a time, you got a gear position, RPM, speed, temperature, range, battery voltage, tire pressure. It also tells you what your actual mileage is on the motorcycle and the remaining distance before your next service and your service due date, which is pretty cool. These are things that it's all there on the one screen and you don't have to muck around trying to access that information from here. So it's just up to preference really. And then what you can do is this icon here is to connect your Apple CarPlay or your Android Auto. So when you click that in, like for me, it's already connected to my Android Auto. It's actually very simple. All you need to do is get your mobile phone, and it actually has a step-by-step instruction on how you actually pair your mobile phone to the device. And once you pair it the first time, it's paired for life and it's automatic. You don't have to keep on pairing it every time. It just reads off very quickly and it does what it needs to do. Okay, now let's talk about some of the connections here on when you've connected yourself to Android Auto or Apple CarPlay. That icon there is to go into the menu, and in the menu you've got a few options here, and that depends on what apps that you actually have currently downloaded on your phone. So whatever apps that have got an agreement with Apple CarPlay or Android Auto, those apps will actually display here. So as for me, you can see I've got my wife as a quick dial. I can access my messages when I'm riding. Now you can't physically type a reply, but you can use voice commands to reply to any voice messages, any text messages that come to you. You can also access WhatsApp if you need to reply a message. You got YouTube Music, which is essentially your selection of musics that you want to listen when you are riding. And then you've also got things like maps navigation. So you got the native Google Maps, which is what is displaying here. Or you can even, if you like using apps like Waze, you can also use Waze, which is what I tend to prefer over Google Maps anyway. So I'll show you, this is Waze here, and that's Waze navigation there. And look, this navigation is perfect, and remembering that the navigation here is actually coming from your device. So your device needs to be paired, your phone device needs to be paired with the navigation system, and then you can keep your phone in your pocket. So you can answer phone calls. Essentially what the Chigee AIO-5 does is it actually mirrors your phone. It actually accesses the data from your phone, at the same time also reading data from the bike and merging the two into this one device. So you can access your navigation, you can access music, reply to phone calls, make a phone call as well. So if you want to make a phone call, all you do is you can go into the phone section, and then you can just if you've got any favorites on there, you can dial your favorites, or you can use voice commands. Now the added benefit of having this plugged into your BMW navigation cradle is you can actually use the Wonder Wheel. Now I'll show you how this happens. So at the moment you can see that the actual bike is on the TFT mode. The Wonder Wheel is actually on the TFT mode. You have to switch it to the navigation. So in order to do that, all you do is you long press the menu button up, and that should now change it to navigation. You can see the navigation light is now highlighted, which means now your Wonder Wheel is connected. So if you look here now, you can see the Wonder Wheel is actually connected to the menu button. Now if I push this in like this, it should take me into the menu section. Now in order to move between one icon to another, all I do is I turn the Wonder Wheel. I can go downwards or upwards, and it will take you to the icon that I want. So if I want to make a phone call, I can just go to the phone icon here. I can either press this button here, which is your signal cancelling button, or you can push this in towards your right to do that. So let's try with the signal button. When I press the signal button, moving to my contacts list, and I can use I can use voice function to make a phone call, or I can just scroll through my list and call whoever I want. And once I'm done, I can just go back up to the more section there, and that should take me back into the main. See, now it goes there, and you can just go back into your main screen. Now if you push this button and hold, like what I'm going to do now, like this, it'll take you back into your main screen, and then you can actually choose to go back into Android Auto. Here the Wonder Wheel doesn't quite work, so you can either just hand touch the icons, or you can just push and hold, which does different things. So if I push it to the right now, it will take me into this screen here, where it shows me the data that it reads off the motorcycle. And if you carry on doing that again, it takes you back into your Android Auto. So really, you don't have to actually touch the screen at all, but you can if you want to. All you need to do is just push and hold. It'll flick between the two screens. So that's that one there. And if you want to go to the other screen, there are two options for this screen. You can just do a quick push and that should change to this screen. A quick push and it's back to that. And if you push and hold the wonder wheel, it takes you into your Android Auto. So hope that is clear. Now I want to show you some other added functionalities, but that will require me to actually turn on the engine, so hopefully it doesn't get too noisy. So some people have asked, when you turn on the engine, does the device reboot? And the short answer to that is no. So let's see what happens. So I'm going to turn the engine on now. Oops. So it's really quick. It just automatically reboots very quickly. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go into the main screen here, and you can see now it's actually reading data of the motorcycle. The RPMs is matching, and when I rev the engine, it reads that as well. When I turn my indicators on to the right, it lights up there showing that the indicator is on, and if I put my indicators to the left, it also tells you that the indicator is on. The tire pressure does not show yet because the bike isn't been ridden, but you can see it's updated the battery voltage, it's updated the engine temperature as well. When I cancel the signal, it will cancel that as well. Now if I move to a different screen, here it's doing the same thing and it's giving you all the information that you require. If I can move back to Android Auto, I can access my maps, and I'm good to go. If you bring the cursor to this button here, this is the native display where it actually splits the screen 2/3 for navigation and 1/3 for audio. You can actually just have full navigation by just slightly tapping on it, and you get a navigation on the full screen. I better turn off this engine because it's getting very noisy. Now another important thing of interest is that when you've got your gloves on, the screen is actually quite responsive. You can see that, you know, you can actually move it, really quite responsive, definitely better than a mobile phone. You can actually press the button to take you back, go back to this. You could access navigation just by a single click. You can do, it's really good. So you see, it's actually quite sensitive with gloves, so it works really well when you got your gloves on as well. Definitely not, it's not perfect, but it's definitely better than having your mobile phone. Alright, so hopefully I've clarified and run you through some of the functionalities that the device actually has to offer, but I just want to reiterate this once more, that in order for the Chigee AIO-5 to work, you must get it connected to your mobile phone, because essentially it takes the navigation data, it takes the internet connection and so on that it needs for it to operate from your phone. The benefit is your phone can stay in your pocket, your phone will not be exposed to the elements, it does not heat up and so on. So remembering that when you got a phone there on really hot days, the screen brightness dies off, the phone heats up, you get stranded, you can't turn on the phone and so on. That device there will not give you those issues, and your phone can stay snug in your pocket and you can use it when you need it, and it even does not drain your battery as much as it would by having it on a non-chargeable device, you know, like a quad lock mount or so on. So remembering that this is an easy option. Also, the device is not limited to only using Waze or Google Maps. If you are having an Apple device, you can use Apple Maps. You can also use third-party navigation maps as well. I think Riser works on it, and there are a few others which I haven't tested, but I can see from the reviews out there there are a few other maps available that you can also use. Now remembering that if you have got the map installed on your phone, if you've got the app for the navigation system, the map on your phone, and if that map or that system that you're using is registered with either Apple CarPlay or Android Auto, then technically that should appear on your device and you should have the functionality that you need on the device. So that's basically the gist of it. So there are hundreds of apps out there, navigation apps. It's impossible to go through everyone. You just have to try it out. But the common mainstream ones like Google Maps, Waze, Apple Maps, they all work seamlessly on this device. One of the biggest issues that I face with the BMW in terms of Bluetooth connectivity is using your comms device to hear music and so on. It's really fiddly. For some reason, the audio that you get is really patchy. How it works with BMW is essentially you need to connect your phone to the TFT, and then you need to connect your comms device to the TFT. And then what that allows you to do, it is that the TFT allows you to access you can access your phone via the TFT. So you can scroll to the phone button, you can actually make phone calls. There's also got the music button there, a music menu there where you can actually supposedly you're able to select music and change tracks and so on. The problem with that though, with my Cradel, and I know many people have faced similar issues, is that when you're actually using it, because it's going through a middle man, in other words, the audio quality that you get coming back to your helmet isn't that great, and it's very patchy. It's just not smooth. And I've released a video which I'll put a link up there, which talks about a workaround in that, but that involves you having two mobile phones, and it's just too much of mucking around, to be honest. It's just a pain. Now, the benefit of having the Chigee is that you totally eliminate all these problems straight away. But in order to get this working properly for you, the first thing you need to do is you need to unpair your phone. If you have paired your phone with your BMW TFT, you need to unpair it. So you need to get your phone to forget the connection, and you need to go into the menu of your BMW TFT and delete the connection to your mobile phone. That's the first thing. Then you pair your phone to the whatever device that you're using. In my case, I'm using the Cradel Packtalk Bold. You can use Senna, you can use any other comms device really. It all works the same. As long as your phone is paired to the comms device, you're all good to go. Because remembering that when you set up your AIO-5, you have actually connected your AIO-5 to the your phone, and what that means is you have got Android Auto, navigation and so on working already. So what happens then is you can take phone calls, you can select music, change audio, you can do all sorts of things, and it all comes back to your helmet via the speakers, and you will get crisp audio, your phone calls are clear, and it eliminates all those problems straight away. So definitely this is one of the greatest benefits from having the AIO-5 as opposed to having using the native method of connection that you got on the BMW. Now for this very reason, many people have chosen not to connect their phone to the BMW system for this very same reason. But it sort of defeats the actual functionality that it has on there. But now that we can have the same functionality on the AIO-5, I think that's a winner, and it's going to be a winner for many. So one of the last things I want to talk before I end the video today is how does the Chigee AIO-5 differs, or how does it compare with the BMW Connected Ride Cradle? Now again, as I've said previously, the Connected Ride Cradle is essentially an intermediary device that connects your Cradel, your GPS preparation on the BMW to your phone, and it allows you to run the BMW Connected Ride app. Now the BMW Connected Ride app essentially tracks your rides. It gives you some information like lean angle sensitivity, your lean angle levels. It gives you information on your journey, trip data, and so on, which is very similar to what the Chigee already does. The only thing that the Chigee doesn't have or is unable to do at this stage is the tracking your ride data. Now, that's something that Chigee is currently working with BMW to find a solution so that this will hopefully be available to all the customers in the future. But as it stands today, that functionality is not yet available. So if you find that logging your ride data is a really important feature, you're going to be losing that feature as of how it stands now. But there is a possibility in the future that this may actually change. Now, the other benefit of using this connected ride cradle as well is you can actually manually download or upload GPX files that you may get from YouTube or your friends and so on, and you can use that as navigation. Again, the downside is you still need your phone, and there are issues with your phone with the vibrations. The phone a lot of phones have gone bust because of the vibrations from the bike. You get the camera sensors going all bonkers. You get overheating of the phone. The screens are not as bright. You get issues with touch sensitivity, and so on and so forth. So these are common issues that you will face using your phone. Now, how much does one of these cost? When I bought this a few years ago, it was only about 400 Australian dollars. As it stands today, I've looked at some websites and they range between 550 Australian dollars to up to $700 for the 2024 inventory. So they are actually quite expensive just to buy one of these cradles. Just for the functionality of logging your rides, I don't think it actually makes much sense at all. I would be putting my money on Chigee, and hopefully they will find a solution with BMW so that the rides can be logged, and hopefully the Connected Ride app might be one day available on the Chigee AIO-5. So it's still too early to say at this stage, but that is one thing that you will be missing. So how much does the Chigee AIO-5 cost? So at present, it ranges about 800, close to the highest 700, early $800 mark, Australian dollar mark. And if you use my referral code, you will get an additional 10% discount added to it, which brings the price down to the low 700s. So they all come with 2-year factory warranty, which is excellent, and they've got an excellent support. So if you'd like to purchase a device, please look at my referral links below and use code AdvExplorerOz5, and that should give you an additional 10% discount. So all in all, as it stands for me, I will be putting my BMW Connected Ride Cradle away for the foreseen future, and I'll be using the Chigee AIO-5. I will be doing some real life test rides as well to see how it actually functions on the road, but this review today is mainly just about the setup and to just talk about some of the features that the device has to offer. Now, remembering, as it stands today, this is what's available, but I foresee in the future with new updates and stuff, there will be some additions to it as well. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and if you have enjoyed the video, please give me a big thumbs up, do like, do subscribe, do share, and I would like to thank Chigee Global once again for sending me this device and allowing me to do an unbiased review on it. So thank you all, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Cheers.